Hey everybody, Chris McGraw from Almost Adventurous here. Time for another coat check, coat review. Today I have a Patagonia Fitz Roy Down Parka. So this is a belay parka. I think at the time, because they got rid of the grade 7 parka, this may be the heaviest belay parka that they have. That is like a technical specific belay parka. For $3.99, so $400, brand new. I actually bought this one back in 2016. Actually, let me look at the tag and see what year it was made. Yep, fall of 2015. I was going to Antarctica in December of 2016 and really had no clue as far as what to bring on that trip. So I ended up buying this and using it under my shell. Wasn't the best item for that use case. Since then I've moved to Colorado and do a lot of bouldering in the winter, do some climbing, and it is great for, you know, its use case, a belay jacket. So when you're not moving, keeping you warm, especially in the winter. If you're in the shade, game over. It's just really cold. So I bought this for around $300. I actually saw one, a newer version, get sold on Poshmark this week for 50 bucks. Didn't even have any holes or anything. I thought that was pretty nuts. If I had seen that, even though I own one, I probably would have bought it and I would have gifted it to my cousin who also climbs out here with me. But this is one of my favorite down jackets. I've had it for a while. Let's see, 2016 to it's almost 2023 now, so almost 7 years, and a little over 7 years probably. And it's served me really well. Let's just go through some of the basics of the jacket. So it's hooded, obviously. We have a nice cinch here so you can tighten it over your head. It does fit over a helmet, which if you're belaying somebody, you should probably be wearing a helmet. Not probably, you should be wearing a helmet. Let's talk about pockets. So we have a chest pocket here, and inside the chest pocket is our stuff sack that it came with. So the entire jacket will fit in this. We'll do that later. And it's a fairly large pocket, not the biggest one. We have a couple of hand warmer pockets here, and then again on the other side. Another hand warmer pocket there. This jacket will keep you incredibly warm. It is in no way wind and or waterproof, so that's why I usually have a shell actually underneath it. This is kind of like an oversized fit. That's the so you can just throw it over everything. On the inside, we got a few pockets as well. So nothing on the left side. So this is the inside on the left, but on the right we have this huge kind of catch-all pocket here, which is nice for gloves or a phone even, as long as you're not moving around, because there's no way to secure it. But you could throw a lot of stuff in here. Nalgene, it's a huge, I mean, look at this, it's a huge pocket. And then as far as some other features, if you're going to be hanging it up, you can hang it by this loop here, so you're not hanging it by the hood. And then we have the cinch at the bottom in 2 spots here. So yeah, that's some of the features on this jacket. It is incredibly lightweight. Part of the reason that it's lightweight is that the fabric is so light. So on the exterior we have a 20 denier fabric, which I know I've talked about in previous videos. Denier is just like, it's a measure of like how thick the fabric is. On the inside it's only 10. What that means is this is not a very abrasion resistant jacket whatsoever. I'm actually somewhat shocked that I have yet to tear this thing in any way, or that any of my dogs, you know, when they hop up on me, have yet to tear this in any way. So kind of impressive there. It is ripstop, so you can see, if you look really closely, you can see the little grid pattern. So if you do tear it, it won't just, you know, continue to tear, hopefully. Yeah, so that's great for how light it is, but not abrasion resistant whatsoever. Let's throw this thing on and see how it fits. Again, I'm 5'7", wingspan is 5'9". Right now I tip the scales at 158, and hopefully in future videos I will be able to say a little less. So the cuffs, there isn't much to the cuffs, it's just elastic. It's plenty long enough, it's plenty big enough to fit over a shell. One thing I really like is here by the zipper, there's another baffle full of down too, actually. And that keeps the wind out right at the zipper. A lot of times the zipper can be a spot where wind can come in, or heat can escape, I should say, because there's no insulation behind it. But this one has insulation behind it, so it actually keeps the heat in rather well. And as this is a belay jacket, it zips up from the bottom, so you can have your harness here and have easy access to it. So again, we got these two hand warmer pockets. I have to say, this is an incredibly warm jacket. Part of the reason that I think it didn't do such a great job when I was in Antarctica is that I was moving a lot, and when you're moving a lot, your body heat is going to heat you up pretty quick, and I started to sweat in this thing. Problem being, I didn't have like another solid mid-layer to use on that trip, so not exactly great for that use case. That being said, I'm super glad that I own this jacket. Here's the throwing the hood on. So as you can see, it's a big hood. Zips up here, and then you can cinch it down in the back if you're not wearing a helmet or whatnot, and you know, make sure it fits you really well. Like I said, lightweight and packs down, but let's not take my word for it. Let's pack it down and weigh it, and we can see just exactly how lightweight it is. So let me zip it up. I like to zip up my jackets before I throw them in the stuff sack. I don't keep jackets in stuff sacks for very long. You don't want to compress insulation. The whole point of insulation, this is 800 fill insulation, down insulation. The whole point is that you want that nice loft. And if you keep things compressed in a stuff sack year round, you're going to lose that. So most of the time I just keep this stuff sack in the pocket, in the chest pocket there. Shockingly, have not lost it yet. I have a couple other belay jackets that I've tested, and cannot say that about all of them. So sometimes you lose it. Not a huge deal. The stuff sack itself is also very light. It's made out of the interior fabric, so it's that 10 denier ripstop. Just shove it in there. It's amazing how jackets like this can pack down, as well as like down sleeping bags. I used synthetic sleeping bags for a long time, and the first down one I got, I was amazed at how well it packed down. So just get it in there. As far as use cases for this jacket, if you live in a wet area, I would not necessarily recommend it. I would not recommend down necessarily if you're living in a wet area. The area of Colorado that I live in is high desert, so not too much of an issue, but there we go. Alright, and it's even got this little loop so you can attach it to stuff. I've got a little scale here. Let's weigh it. The Patagonia site says it's around just like an ounce over a pound. Here we got 1 pound 3 ounces in the stuff sack. Here, let's get that. Or we're talking 540 grams. So there's the weight. Again, size medium. But yeah, if you live in a wet area, down is not going to do well when it gets wet. But if it's cold enough out and it's just snow, it'll brush right off. So it's not a total deal breaker. So yeah, that's the Patagonia Fitz Roy Down Parka. Like I said, this one's from fall 2015. They still make it today. And I think if you're looking for a nice, big, puffy that you don't need to be abrasion resistant for climbing, or even if you just live in a really cold climate, this would be a good one to get. Just keep in mind that it's not windproof and not waterproof, so it's not going to be that all-in-one solution that you're looking for for winter. At least out here it gets pretty windy, so you will need a shell or something to throw underneath it. But overall, I think it's a great jacket.